Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be crocheting a clownfish. This pattern was originally made to be a hat, however you could also turn it into a stuffed animal or a wall hanging. The materials that you're going to need are 3 different types of yarn: white, black, and whatever color you want, but traditionally it's going to be orange, a 9mm hook, and also a darning needle. To start, we will take our primary yarn and chain 20 after doing a slip stitch. After, we're going to place 18 half double crochet starting in the 3rd stitch from the hook. At the end of the row, we chain 2 and turn our work. Now we're going to place a decrease followed by 14 stitches and then another decrease. And then after the 14 half double crochet, we're going to place a decrease here. Then we chain 2 and turn our work. Now we're going to place 16 half double crochet. Now chain 2, turn your work, and then we're going to place a decrease and then 12 half double crochet followed by a decrease. Now we should end with 14 stitches and chain 2, turn your work. Now we will place a decrease followed by 10 half double crochet and then end it with another decrease. Now we chain 2, turn our work. And then again, we're going to place a decrease followed by 8 half double crochet and then another decrease. Then we're going to half double crochet 3 stitches together, followed by 4 half double crochet, and then lastly half double crochet 3 stitches together. And next we will chain 1 to finish. And then flip our piece to the side, and we're going to place our hook in this first chain 2 space that we have here. Attach our yarn with a chain and then go back in with a single crochet. And we're going to single crochet around the entire piece. So the rule of thumb that I like to follow is for every post, I like to add 2 single crochet in there. So I'm going to add 2 here, and then for this one, I'm going to add 2 in here, and then 2, 2, 2, and keep on going up. But basically putting it in any of the gaps that makes sense. So I'm going to place another single crochet in there. And then for this one, I'm going to place a single crochet here And then I'm just gonna place it here. So this row has 2 single crochet, this row has 2 single crochet, and for this one we go back and it's a chain 2 space, so I'll place 2 in there. And then for this row, it doesn't have a chain 2 space, but I'm gonna place 2 in there. So now we find the chain 2 space, then I'm gonna place 2 in there. And then this one I'm gonna place 2. And now we have another chain 2 space, I'm gonna place 1 here and then another one. Now we have another chain 2 space right here, so I'm gonna place 1 here. And now we're at the top where our half double crochet ends at, where our actual stitches are. So now we could just place our actual stitches on top. Then I'm gonna continue the same thing on this side here. Okay, so this is the front piece and you should have a semicircle like so. This is gonna be the front part of the hat that's gonna be on top of your forehead. This is where we bring in our black yarn. And for our next row, we're gonna make it in black. So actually for our last stitch that we did, we're gonna undo that one, put our hook in there, and then change to black. And now we're gonna chain 1 and just pull the yarn to secure that. Cut the yarn and turn our work. So now I'm just gonna take these end pieces, tuck them underneath, and then for the next round, we're gonna single crochet in each of the stitches. Let's see how many I have. Okay, so I have actually ended with 31 stitches. You don't have to end with exactly 31, you can end with 31 or 32. So I have actually ended with 32 stitches. Yours doesn't have to exactly be 32 stitches, but that's the number of stitches that I ended with. After we attach the black yarn, we're just gonna start in that first stitch and place a single crochet, and then just continue that until we reach the end. Before I end with this stitch, I'm going to attach the white yarn and pull that through for the next row. Then I'm gonna chain 2 and then turn my work. Now you could cut this black yarn here and then do the same thing as we did before, but with half double crochet. So we're just gonna place a half double crochet in each of the stitches, and then for the first couple of stitches, just tuck in this yarn here. So I've made it to round 11, and at the end, we will add the black yarn and then chain 1. And then turn our work. Next, we will place a single crochet in each of the stitches. At the end of round 12, add in the orange yarn and chain 2, and then turn your work. Next, we will do 3 rounds of half double crochet in each of the stitches. At the end of row 15, we add the black yarn, chain 1, and then turn your work. And then we will place a single crochet in each of the stitches for one row. For row 17, we will attach the white yarn, chain 2, and then place a half double crochet in each of the stitches, and we're going to do that for a total of 2 rows, and I'll meet you at the end of the second row. At the end of row 18, we will actually finish this stitch and then fold your piece in half and then slip stitch into the first stitch of the current row. But we won't finish the slip stitch with the white yarn, we will finish it with the black yarn. So make sure we pull the white tight, hold on to the black yarn, and then pull that through for a slip stitch. And now with the black yarn, we will chain 1 and then slip stitch around the entire piece until we get to the last stitch here. And then we will place a slip stitch to connect it. So I will start here and place a single crochet and then just continue all the way around. So I've reached the end of the round. I placed my single crochet in this last stitch here, and we have this slip stitch. So I'm not going to place anything in the slip stitch. Next, we're going to place our hook in the first stitch of the round, and we're going to do a slip stitch here, but we're going to finish it with our main color. So pull that tight and then pull that through. And I already cut the white yarn in the back, and I'm just going to tuck that in later, or you could crochet it in as you go. So now I'm gonna chain 2, and then I'm gonna place a half double crochet in each of the stitches and then end with the slip stitch. I've reached the end, and now I'm going to slip stitch to join. Next, I'm going to chain 2, and now we will start the bottom back fin. So to do that, we will fold the piece in half, and then we're going to crochet 8 half double crochet going up this panel. Starting in that first stitch, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after the 8th stitch, we're not going to continue going up, and I'm also just going to cut this black yarn here and then tuck it in later. So next we're going to count the 8th stitch from the end. So this is the slip stitch, so we're not going to count that one. So this is the last one, so we're going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 8th stitch from the end. You could place a stitch marker there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a half double crochet there in that stitch marker. Oops, let's try that again. And then pull that tight so it doesn't have a gap, and then complete that half double crochet. And then just continue that all the way down. And then we're going to slip stitch in the first stitch of the round. So now we have like a smaller round, and you could see the fin is starting to form. So now that we reached the end, we're going to place a slip stitch, but we're going to finish it with a black yarn. And then chain one, and then pull that tight. So after we attached the black yarn, we're going to fold this in half, and then we're going to place our stitch in the first stitch and also the last stitch. So we're going to crochet through both panels. I'm going to cut this yarn, and we're going to single crochet through both of the panels like so. Now I've reached the end, and I'm going to attach the white yarn and then chain two. Then we're going to turn our work, and for this row we're going to place an increase at each end of the rows. So I'm going to start with an increase, then I'm going to do half double crochet on the insides, the last stitch we're going to add an increase. Before you finish that last half double crochet, we want to add the black yarn in there and then chain one. Turn your work, and then for this one we're gonna do a single crochet, but do the same thing as before. We're gonna place an increase at the end stitches and then regular single crochet in the middle. At the end we're gonna add an increase. And before finishing that single crochet, we're gonna add in our orange yarn and then chain two. For this one, we're going to do a half double crochet and then place increases on the ends, and then the middle is half double crochet again. For the last stitch, we're going to complete the increase and then chain two. And now for the next two rows, we're going to place decreases at the end and then half double crochet in the middle. And the decreases are going to be half double crochet decreases. So we're going to do that for two rows, where each rows end and begin with decreases. And I'll meet you at the end. So this is what the back bottom fin should look like after you did all the rows. Now we just have one more step. So now we're going to count and see where the fourth row is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This black one right here. So we're going to place our hook at the start of the row. If you're left-handed, then you'll most likely start over here. But I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start here, attach the yarn to the hook, pull it through, and then chain one. And then we're going to single crochet around the entire fin until we get to the 4th row again. And same rule of thumb as before. And these posts, you want to add 2 stitches, or just like as many as to fill the gap. Like you'll be able to tell. Just use your intuition. So we're just going around. A rule of thumb for when you're crocheting around edges like this, you want the top part of the stitch to be facing in the direction that you're going to be going next. So you can see this stitch right here is pointing in this direction, but the next step that we want to go to is this direction right here. So we're pointing in the wrong direction. And in order to get in the correct direction, we're going to place more increases, stitches in here. So let's place another increase stitch. So now as you can see, this stitch is still facing in the wrong direction. So let's add another one. Okay, this one, that's better. Now actually moving it, it's facing in the correct direction. So now after we did those increases, we can move on to the top stitches here. And then just continue. And this isn't going to come up in this project, but you could do the same thing with decreases as well when you have sharp corners instead of edges. As you can see in this stitch right here, we have the same issue as before, where the top stitch is facing the wrong direction. So I'm just going to mirror what I have on the other one and add 2 more stitches in there and then continue. And now lastly, we're just going to place our hook in where that 4th row is and then place a slip stitch to finish. And then we cut the yarn, and that's the end of the bottom fin. Now we can move on to the top back fin. And you can see we have some remaining stitches here. The number that I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 8 on the other side. If you don't have 8, as long as it doesn't look crazy, it's fine. It's okay if you have 8 down here, 9 up here, 8 up here, 9 down here. Like as long as they're basically look from, you know, if you eyeball it, they look pretty even, or you know, maybe one can be smaller, one can be bigger. It's up to you. You could change that if you want, or just go with the number of stitches you have, but I just like to be transparent with the number of stitches that I have. For the top back fin, we're going to start at the top, keep our piece folded like so, and we're going to place our hook in between like these 2 stitches here. So these are the top middle stitches because we have this piece folded in half. So this is what it looks like if I like open it up. So we're gonna put our hook in both of these stitches. So we're gonna put it in between like so, and then attach our yarn, and then we're gonna chain 2. Next, we're going to place an increase at each ends of the stitch. So next we're going to do similar to what we did when we did here. We're going to place increases at the ends and making sure that you are crocheting in between both of the panels. So we're crocheting the panels together and placing increases at the end and then half double crochet in the middle. Okay, so these are the last two stitches. If you look, these stitches are already occupied by these half double crochet. That's a part of the bottom fin, so we won't crochet into these. We're going to crochet into these last ones instead. Oh, half double crochet. And then that's going to be an increase. Next we will chain 2, turn our work, and then for this next row we're actually going to half double crochet 3 stitches together. So after we half double crochet 3 stitches together, we're going to start doing a series of back post half double crochet and front post back double crochet to add some texture in this fin here. So we've already crocheted in the first 3 stitches, so let's just locate where the first 3 posts are. So this is the first post, this is the second post, and this is the third post. So we won't be crocheting in any of these posts. So that means that this 4th post right here is the one that we're going to be crocheting in. In here, we're going to be doing a back post. So we're going to do a back post and then a front post. And then we're going to do a back post and then a front post. And we're going to do that until we have 2 more stitches left. So we have 3, so I'm going to place another one, a back post. Now we have 2 more stitches left, and in these last 2 we're going to place a decrease, a half double crochet decrease. Next we're going to chain 2 and then turn our work. Now we're going to place a decrease, and then we're going to continue doing the series of back and front posts. So when you turn around and you don't know whether to do a front or a back post, just look at the previous row. So we'll see this one is a front post because it's sticking out in the front. So we're going to start with a front post, so continue, so that we have front post on front post and back post on back post. So next we do a back post, and we're going to continue doing that until we have 2 more stitches left. Then we do a back post, and now we have 2 more stitches, so I won't do another one, and we're going to end with a decrease. So that's the end. And now we just chain 1 and then cut the excess. The last step for this fin is to place our hook on the first row right here where the black is. Attach our black yarn, chain 1, and then we're just going to single crochet around the entire fin like we did before. Now that I reached the end, I'm just going to end with a slip stitch and then cut the yarn, and then I'll sew that in later. Now let's work on the top fin. So for the top fin, we're going to make sure that the piece is facing towards our dominant hand, and then we're going to take our hook and we're going to place it on the top of this row right here. So where the white starts, the first white row, we're going to place our hook at the top here. And we're going to take our main color yarn, attach it to the hook, pull that through, and then chain 2. What we're going to do now is make half double crochet until this row, the last orange row right here. So for each half double crochet post, we're going to place 2 half double crochet in there. And then for this single crochet post, we're just going to add 1 half double crochet here. So I hope that makes sense, but if it doesn't, just follow along with me. So after I did the chain 2, I'm going to place 1 half double crochet in that row. Then I'm going to place another one. And then in this next post, I'm going to put 2 half double crochet in there. And then this is a single crochet post, so it's shorter. So we're only going to add 1 in there. And then this is a half double crochet post, so we're going to add 2. Might be a little tricky. Oops. Okay, now for the next one, we're going to place 2 in there as well. And then lastly, for the last one, we're going to place 2. So here we should have a total of 11 half double crochet in there. So after that, we're going to chain 2 and then turn our work. So we're gonna do basically the same thing that we did in this fin right here, but on the top. So we're gonna start with 3 half double crochet together, and then we're gonna alternate between back posts and front posts. So this is the next post here. We're going to do back posts. And then we're going to do front post in the next one. Back post. And front post. And we're going to do that until we have 2 more stitches left. And here we have 2 more stitches left, and we can end with a decrease here. Now we chain 2, turn our work, and now we could do a decrease in the first 2 stitches, and then we'll do then we'll follow the pattern that we already set for ourselves before, and we'll do a back post, then a front post, back. Oh, let's do that one over again. Back, front, back. Do that until we have 2 stitches left, and then I'll place a decrease there. So let's just chain 1. Just like before, we're going to add our black border around, and we're going to attach our hook where this black row is. Attach the yarn, chain 1, and then we're going to start crocheting in, and then we're going to start single crocheting around the entire fin. So now we only have 2 more fins to do, and those are the side fins. Take our piece, flip it to the side, and we're gonna count 5 stitches from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're gonna move to the next one, so actually the 6th one. And then we're gonna place our hook there. And we're going to crochet going down this way. So if you want your fin to be higher, you can move it higher or put it lower, but I think this is a good placement for it. Now we're going to attach our main color, chain 2, and then we're going to place a half double crochet in that same post that we attached to. And then we're going to place 3 more half double crochet, 1, in the next post going down. So this is 2. And now this is 3 right here. And just make sure that you're not crocheting to the other side. We want to maintain this space here. So right now I have 4 half double crochet in these 4 posts. And for the last one, we're going to place an increase. So then we'll have a total of 6 stitches. So next I'm going to chain 2 and turn our work. Now I'm going to place a half double crochet in each of the stitches, but place an increase in the last one. Now we chain 2, turn your work. And now we're going to do the same thing. Place a half double crochet in all the stitches except for the last one, where we'll place an increase in the last one. And now we chain 2. And then for this last row, we're going to place decreases at the ends and half double crochet in the middle. So we start with a decrease, and then we place 1, 2, 3. We end with a decrease. Then I chain 1, to finish this fin, we're going to place our hook in the 3rd row, so 1, 2, 3, on the side here, And we're going to single crochet all the way around to the other side of row 3. So just like before, we chain 1 and then we just single crochet around the entire thing and then in with a slip stitch at the end. Okay, so for the other fin on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. Counting from the top, we locate the 6th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place our hook there. Attach our main color yarn. Chain 2. Then we're going to place a half double crochet in that same post. And then place a half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, or the next 3 posts, not stitches. And then we end with a decrease, or and then we end with an increase there. So then we chain 2 and then just continue the same pattern that we did before, and then add the black border, and then you'll be done with all the fins and the main piece.